Hello, everybody. Welcome to this week's episode of Low Production. It is Wednesday, September 3rd, which means the NFL season starts tomorrow. This week, we think we're going to go over our playoff predictions. We're going to try to guess who we think is going to win the Super Bowl, who's going to be in the playoffs, and who's going to win all the awards. If we get to it, we'll talk a little bit about the Micah Parsons trade. We'll also talk a little bit of college football, too, because week one of that is done. But besides that, man, Jesse, the NFL is back. We're right here. We're ready to go. How are you feeling?
Oh man, I'm so hyped, dude. We're about to have football on a week to week basis, and you're getting more games throughout the week.
Right, almost every day now, which is fantastic. If you can handle watching some bad college football, you can watch football 6 out of 7 days, I think. So I'm pretty excited. I guess we'll go over my playoff predictions here, and we'll hop right into it. I'm gonna start off with I'm just gonna go 1 through 7 through for the wild card, and I'll tell you who I think is gonna win the division, but what seed they'll be and whatnot. And number one, I've got the Buffalo Bills. I think they've been the 1 seed before. I think it's their time as far as I think they've got a good young group of guys on the receiving core. People are worried about that, but I think we were worried about it last year, right? Everybody thought that the Bills were going to be crap because they didn't have anybody to catch the ball. Well, they still made the dang playoffs. So I think they're going to be really good again this year. Number two, we got the Chiefs. Come on now. Of course, I'm going to pick my homer team. They're who's going to win the AFC West? The Broncos? No, I don't buy that for 1 second. In number three, winning the AFC North, I got the Ravens. I think that's that's a pretty popular pick. The Bengals, I don't think will be very good. The Browns won't be very good. The Steelers won't be very good. I think the Ravens are going to walk into the playoffs. And then winning the AFC South, I got the Texans. That's another one where there are some actual. We'll get into my wild card teams. I've got a crazy pick, but I think the AFC South is another one that's pretty much, pretty easy for the Texans to win. Anything you have to add about my division winners at this current juncture?
I don't know. There's just something about the Texans. Just they don't wow me.
They don't really wow me either, but who's going to beat them? You think the Titans are going to win the division?
I think the Jags can. I think Liam Collins is cooking up something down there in Duval, to be honest with you.
You're nuts. That's
okay. Let's look at this offense, though. They've got a solid line.
Yeah, sure.
They got Trevor Lawrence, a guy that's never lost on Fridays until he got to the NFL.
Yeah, and now he loses a lot.
Okay, but, he was losing a lot with his first year in the league. Lost a lot of games. They got a new head coach, Doug Peterson, and he turned it all around.
Well, they were doing all right there for a little bit. Sure, I can agree with that.
And he didn't have a good wide receiver one. He was rocking with Christian Kirk.
I guess
Christian Kirk?
I guess you're right. What about Calvin Ridley?
Yeah, he did have Calvin Ridley. Yeah,
but he got hurt or something last year. I can't remember.
He was with the Titans last year.
Oh my gosh, you're right. So that must have been a couple of years ago now. But anyway.
But listen, look, he's got some dogs down there. Brian Thomas Jr.
I do like him.
You can make an argument that he's better than Malik Neighbors.
Whoa!
And then you got Travis Hunter. Travis Hunter is going to have them 6 sellies when he gets in the end zone. He's going to be in there a lot. And then you look at that defense,
I do. Well, I think they. I don't believe in Liam Cohen at all. That Duval, I've heard enough. I don't trust him one bit. I don't trust him one bit, everybody. But I guess you're right. They're more talented than I guess at first glance. Especially, Travis Hunter, if he's really going to play on both sides of the ball, which it looks like they're planning on having him do, that's going to be fun to watch. And he's just an insanely talented. He's an excellent receiver, of course, but he was an elite corner in college as well, a lockdown corner. So if they can get him in on a couple plays and he can actually keep his motor running, that's hard to do in the NFL, but heck, it's hard to do in college, and he did it. He might just be one of those freaks in nature that just doesn't get tired. But Yeah, Brian Thomas Jr. Well, that's an interesting pick. I don't agree, but that's an interesting pick. I guess we'll get into your picks after. But that's pretty interesting.
And you think the Patriots make the playoffs?
Well, hold on now. Okay, we'll go over my wild cards. Yes. All right. At the 5 seed, I've got the Chargers. I think that's a pretty cold take. They're going to be pretty good. They've got Jim Harbaugh, coach. I know everybody's talking about Justin Herbert doesn't win anything. And yeah, I'm not saying they're going to win a playoff game, but they will make it. They'll win enough games to where the Chiefs will sweat a little bit, I think, actually. So they're just, they're a good, solid team, especially on offense, especially with how Lad McConkey's been working and how that O-line is working for them. They're going to be pretty good, I think. And yes, at my 6th seed, I have the New England Patriots. Laugh all you want. I think that Drake May last year showed a lot of, I don't think anybody expected him to come out of there looking like one of the better quarterbacks. And I think he really does. I think that with him and a really young offense and a really pretty solid defense, they're going to be knocking on the door, especially because the rest of the AFC, if you ask me, besides these teams, is relatively weak. I have the Bengals missing, the playoffs, for example. I don't know. I just don't think there's a lot of crazy talented teams. I also have the Broncos missing the playoffs, which is probably another hot take. It's not just because I'm a Chiefs homer. I don't quite think I do like Bo Nix, but I don't quite think that I really don't have a lot of trust in Sean Payton and what he's doing over there. Mm-hmm. So I'm thinking they miss. And yes, at the 7 seed.
This is nuts.
Why is it nuts?
I
have the Tennessee Titans. Okay, I know. Cam Ward, he's brand new. Is he gonna do anything at all? I actually didn't think he was that good in college. When he got picked first over, of course he was going to get picked up first overall, but I figure there very well could be another quarterback that got taken below him that will end up being better. But for this year, they've said, Cam Ward, you're running the show. We're going to be as good as we can, around you. And somehow, some way, with grit and determination, I don't actually think they're that good. I just think with grit and determination, they're going to somehow eke their way into the playoffs.
They're going to top off the Bengals.
Yes.
You're going to say they're going to
go the Bengals suck.
They've got, okay, outside of Cam Ward, who do you like? Who's your boy over there at Tennessee? Because Cam Ward, I don't care how good he is, he ain't making the playoffs.
Calvin Ridley's still there?
Calvin Ridley's 32.
Old head. Look, I get what you're saying. I actually pretty much agree. I don't actually think they're that good. But I think the Bengals, from all of this stuff, here's why I'm not liking the Bengals this year at all. Because they're definitely them and the Broncos are definitely the big ones that I've left off. Every year, they do the same nonsense, of not paying people until the last moment. I know they finally got that deal done with Trey Hendrickson, and I'm sure he'll play like his hair's on fire because they only gave him 1 year. So he's saying, well, I got to go prove to somebody else, not the Bengals. He's going to be done with them after this year. He's saying, I've got to go prove to somebody else that I'm good enough to get, well, Micah Parsons just got $40 million a year, but somewhere in the neighborhood of $30-something million a year. So besides him, their defense is terrible.
Yeah.
And, Joe Burrow, sure. Jamar Chase, absolutely. T. Higgins, of course. Chase Brown, I'm a big fan of him, too. Their offense is going to need to score 45 points a game to win games, just like last year. I really think it's going to be more of the same, in fact, even a little worse on defense. And you just cannot have a team that's so offense coordinated or offense leaning toward offense. There are going to be games where your offense gets shut down. It just is what it is. It happens to every good offense. There's just games where you're playing a defense that has the pieces to stop you, or their coordinator just does a great game plan. And I think that they're really going to struggle in those games. And I think they'll also start off losing 4 games in a row like they do every year. Because they just do that. Well, they're not going to have 4 games to afford. At some point they're going to go, uh-oh, it's week 12, and, we got a losing record. Hot take. All right.
Quite frankly, though, I look at the Bengals defense and I think it's terrible.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But I think the Tennessee Titans defense is even worse. I mean, they're worst.
No. Listen, they're gonna figure it out.
Sneed.
I know.
He played 5 games last year.
He's hurt. He's gonna be fine.
I love him on the Chiefs, but
of course,
just not the same corner. These
Well,
corners
he's getting older. Sure.
good for so long.
Well, that's one of those positions that, gosh, do they get old fast. But I get what you're saying. I even thought it was crazy when I typed it up. But I'm a believer in what they got going on. I guess I'll talk about the Broncos too a little bit. I really do like Bo Nix. I think, frankly, besides him, their offense, and well, Cortland Sutton too, but even him, like, people are mentioning him in the same breath as these elite level, like a T. Higgins level receiver. I don't really think so. I watch him a lot, and he's been on my fantasy team in the last few years, and I watched him, and I go,
he's got the D1 build.
He does. He
could be a dog.
No, he could be, and he's been good. Don't get me wrong. I'm not, saying he's some sort of bum or something. I just don't think he's going to be enough to really elevate them. And I think Sean Payton's got an old-fashioned coaching style that worked 10 years ago, and I think it doesn't work anymore. And their defense will be pretty good, but I don't think it'll be enough. I think you've also got to think about the Broncos are going to have a tough schedule, a.k.a. playing the Chiefs twice, playing the Chargers twice. I mean, that might be 4 games they lose right there. I think they'll probably take one, maybe even from both, but I think they're going to have a tough time finding the wins to get into the playoffs.
Well, I agree with you. I don't think they make the playoffs, but I agree with you for a separate reason. I think there's a thing called the sophomore slump.
Oh, you think Bo Nix regresses this year?
I think every quarterback has a sophomore slump.
That's true, yeah.
Unless your name's Patrick Mahomes.
Well, I guess not, right? He did a lot better.
But so I'm looking at that, and then I look over to see in NFC divisions, and you've got the commies.
Okay, that's all right. I want to go over my NFC.
I mean, I think your homeboy has a slump this year. I don't think he makes no Super Bowl.
I think Daniels is going to be terrifying this year.
I think he's going to barely make the playoffs.
Man.
Or even miss it.
Is that right?
Quite frankly.
Well, I'll go over. Let me go through all these real quick, and then you can dismantle them.
All right.
My 1 seed, for the NFC, I have the Commanders. I think they're going to be fantastic. I think last year I saw some unbelievable stuff from Jaden Daniels. The way that he can drop a ball into a bucket, and he's going to have receivers that are open, particularly Scary Terry. That's going to be his biggest. They might go off. I think as a whole they're going to be really excellent. I really like their scheme. I really like their defense. I think they're going to be really, really good. But I know that's a hot take. At number 2, I've got another hot take. The Packers.
I agree on this one.
You do, really? You think they win the NFC North?
I think they got a better chance of winning it.
Winning the whole thing?
Winning the whole thing than the Commanders, dude.
Really? Well, I actually don't mind that pick at all. I do. I think they're going to be really, really good. I think they were sneaky really good last year. No one seemed to care because they went, everybody, I've never heard of any of these guys. And Jordan Love, whatever, he hasn't done anything crazy. No, Jordan Love's good.
Yeah.
And now they've got all these guys that are getting into their prime a little bit, like the Tucker Crafts or whatever. And then you've got some new pieces like Matthew Golden, who we both really like. I think you like him, don't you?
He's a solid dude.
I think he very well could win Rookie of the Year. But we'll get into that later. And, of course, on defense, who they had? Only the best player on defense in the whole, in the whole nation. The only guy to get over 10 sacks a year for the last 4 years. He's a dog. He's dominant. I think the only reason he hasn't won DPOY before is because the Cowboys suck. And I think once he's going to be on the Packers and everyone's going to be looking at him because they're going to be winning a lot of games, people are going to be going, everybody knows Micah Parsons is excellent, but they're going to go, oh my God, this guy's a game breaker. This guy destroys opposing quarterbacks, and all you got to do is do that a couple times a game, and then they're off it. They're rattled. Especially a guy like, who are they going to play twice? Jared Goff, who moves slower than molasses. God bless him. I like Jared Goff, but slow as molasses. They're going to play Caleb Williams twice, who, well, if you're thinking about sophomore slump, he could be rattled easily. I think
benched for who? They just paid old boy
Tyson Baggins.
He just got paid. He just paid him. Why do you pay a backup quarterback that type of money to run that?
That's pretty wild. That's a wild take.
I bet you he gets benched, and then Tyson's got to come in, and
Wow.
Tyson's got a solid squad around him.
Well, I do think, I'm bummed that I had to leave the Bears off of my list because I just don't think they're going to make it. But I do think they've got a really fun team. And, I mean, they've got a lot of just fun receivers, just young athletes. I love Colston Loveland. I think they're going to really like
I like Tyler Warren more. That's my
Really?
tight end.
Is that
Rookie
right?
tight end of the year?
Yeah.
I like Tyler Warren.
Okay.
I
Well,
think, quite frankly, you're going to hate me for this.
Yeah.
I think he was the best Penn State player to come out of the draft.
Oh, my God. I get into that. We'll get into that when I get into my
man.
day.
I knew I was going to get you going.
You just hate Abdul Carter. That's crazy. We'll
get to it.
Yeah. I've got the Buccaneers winning the NFC South. I think that's a cold take. They're putting all the pieces together. The NFC South is weak. That's going to be easy for them. And I really struggled with the NFC West because I think they're all bad. I think they're all. I mean, I have the Rams winning. Just because, they're a solid team. They've got, of course, Puka Nacua, and they've got Kyron Williams. Matt Stafford is, I know he's having back troubles or whatever, but he's still a really solid quarterback, even if he is old. He's always just been a guaranteed kind of guy. So I do think that they win, but I think the Niners won't be like awful, and I think that the Seahawks won't be awful. So I don't know. I guess it could be anybody's game. But there will only be one team from the NFC West in the playoffs. That's what
I agree.
Sure. None of them are going to have that good records, I don't think.
I say if the Rams make the playoffs, it's because they're going to be 8-9.
Right.
You're right.
One of those
7-10.
Sure. One of those situations where the Colts make it or whatever,
You're going to have to
you guys suck.
need a big year from Kyron Williams because I don't even think Matthew Stafford makes it to the end of the year.
Man, he's banged up.
He's tough. He's one of the toughest quarterbacks.
Absolutely he is, but he's banged up.
He got bad back.
Yes,
He's got a sway back, What do you know about sway backs?
Yeah, I know. No, that's going to be tough for them, especially, I don't even know who their backup is, but they definitely need him to command the ship. So if he goes down, sure, that'll be the end of their season.
Yeah.
In my 5 seed, I've got the Eagles. It's probably relatively shocking, I guess, that I picked the Commanders over them to win the division, but I did, and I'm sticking to it. I think the Eagles are going to be really, really good again this year. I think they will definitely make the NFC Championship game. I think maybe even the Super Bowl, but they're not my pick.
Yeah.
They're going to be really good, but I think they're going to be a little bit worse than last year, particularly defensively. Their defense was horrific last year. We saw them totally dominate the Chiefs. I still can't get over it. I think they'll be a little bit worse than that this year. At my 6th seed, I've got the Lions. Again, probably another shocking pick, I guess, to not put them over the Packers. I think they're also in for a little bit of a regression.
They're going to take a...
Yeah. I think, unfortunately, so. I think they take a step back. I think I love Dan Campbell, but I think all the fun, crazy stuff of their play calling, I think that may, when you give other teams time to figure stuff out, they figure stuff out. They came in and they built a talented team, and then they started doing crazy stuff like hooking ladders, and no one was ready for it because they were like, oh my gosh, we didn't know this is the kind of stuff they were going to do. I think now they've had enough time to kind of neutralize that wild and crazy offense. Unfortunately.
Quite frankly, I think the NFL stands for one thing and one thing only, not National Football League, but not for long. You can't be in this. You can't. That's why the Chiefs are so dominant. The Chiefs are good. Patriots have been good, but these teams not for long. I don't think you can stay good for that long.
Sure, it's built that way to where if you get good and you can go back down. And especially if you're Detroit, they could be on the downturn of their peak. Then we've got the Vikings at the 7th seed. Now, this is, I know, another shocking pick because it's J.J. McCarthy, I know. And they've got not a ton of talent besides Justin Jefferson. And I know Jordan Addison, but he's getting suspended. So I think they sneak in. And I think they probably lose the first game, but I think they will be good enough to make the playoffs. They were very good last year. The coaching is really excellent, so I think they're probably going to be okay. Just not okay enough to win a playoff game. But hey, you make it. For my Super Bowl, yes, I've got the Chiefs and the Commanders. And if this comes to pass, I'm very confident the Chiefs will win it. I'm not going to pick against the Chiefs, of course, because I live in Kansas City. But I really do think that if the Commanders make it to the Super Bowl, the Chiefs match up pretty well against them. So if the Chiefs play the Eagles again, I'd be a little more worried about it. Or if they were to play the Packers, I'd be a little, frankly, more worried about it. But for right now, if I'm right about Chiefs versus Commanders, I feel good about it. And then, we made, some moves at offensive line. I think that was our biggest one. And that's going to be a big jump for us. Everything else can probably just mostly stay the same, and we'll probably be pretty good. I mean, we are, we're the team to beat still, if you ask me. When every other team looks at us, they don't look at the Eagles, they look at us. And they go, this is the team that we've got to figure out how to beat. Especially if you're the Bills or who I have us beating in the AFC Championship game. Sorry, Bills. But yeah, so that's my whole playoff prediction. What is your playoff prediction, Jesse? What are you thinking?
So I like the Chiefs winning and taking it all. I got the Chiefs taking it all too, but I got the Packers going, man.
Oh, you do? Really?
I think they go to the Super Bowl.
Wow, okay. Well, that's but just because did you have them going to the Super Bowl before Micah Parsons?
The Packers no.
Really? So you think you made them that much better? I agree.
Hey, everybody, this is Good Old Jess with Low Production Podcast, and I just want to say we are growing fast, and we're looking for local brands, local businesses to come and support us and become a sponsor so they can grow with us. Anyways, back to the podcast.
All right, so for my NFC, I got the Bucks running the table.
Really?
Yeah.
Being the 1 seed, huh?
They got a lot of wide receivers down there.
I do. I think they're going to be really fantastic. Especially, Baker Mayfield had the most yards in the whole league last year. So I do think they're going to be really good. I wonder how their defense will hold up, but I think offensively they're going to be pretty crazy.
Mm-hmm. And then the Eagles get the 2 seed.
Sure.
I don't think there's anything I can say about that. I think Eagles are a solid team.
Well, yeah.
Maybe I put them at the 2 just because still a little hurt from last year.
But they're definitely fantastic. They're an excellent team. They're stacked.
I think the Seahawks take the 3 because I think Sam Darnold. I think he starts the year hot again.
And really, okay. I mean, he did. The Vikings last year was unbelievable to watch him. Be for a while there, maybe the best quarterback in the NFL. I mean, it was pretty unbelievable to watch.
I think Jackson Smith and Jigga is going to be top 5 receivers.
Okay. Well, I think he's been getting better every year.
Potentially top 3.
Well, he's been getting better every year. He's a huge dude. I think that's a pretty good pick.
I like K9. Kenneth Walker's a good guy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like him too.
And I think they're going to be solid. I think Packers, they're going to be a great team, but they got to find their flow.
Okay, sure.
But
you have them winning the Super Bowl, so you think they will find their flow.
They're not going to win the Super Bowl. They're going to go.
Oh, they're going to go. But hey, that's pretty good.
I mean, you look at a couple of years back, last time they made the playoffs, Jordan Love, we're sitting there in December, and they're not even like trailing. They're not even
Oh,
They
sure.
make the playoffs.
Sure.
They make the playoffs and they make a
Yes.
run. I
They
think
definitely locked in, and I think they could probably do that again.
Packers are going to make a run and they're going to whoop on these Eagles.
I hope so. I'd love to not have to play them. I'd love to not play the Eagles again if I'm the Chiefs.
I know it. I know. I think the Packers end up carving out the Eagles and
Okay.
the divisional.
Mm-hmm.
But I think this goes to the NFC wildcard.
Mm-hmm.
I like the Panthers.
Yeah, this is insane.
Sneaky.
This is insane. You can't make fun of my Titans pick and then talk about the Panthers. What have they added?
They got T-Mac now. What you know about T-Mac?
I know about Tyrell McMillan. I'm aware of him. He's cool. I think it starts and ends with Bryce Young. I don't think he's got.
What do you mean? Last year, bro?
I've seen enough. I've seen enough. He's 5'9". I don't like small quarterbacks because they can't see over their O-line and they can never throw the ball over the middle. And that's where, your slot receiver is going to be thriving. Your tight ends are going to be thriving. I don't buy it.
They don't need tight ends. They're going to be blocking.
They need somebody.
Okay, they got T-Mac.
Okay.
And, here's the thing about Bryce Young. Here's the thing about him. Look, when you think of Bryce Young, you think about sophomore, beginning of the year. You think about freshman year. This is not the same Bryce Young. This is Bryce Young throwing touchdown passes, looking behind him, and going like this at the camera. Did you see that play? That was some Swaggy P, Nick Young's right there. Like, he's got some confidence. I think he goes into the year with that, and he's going to be playing with T-Mac. You give a quarterback that from Alabama that was used to winning, now he's got a I think Tennessee might be in trouble.
Okay.
Because you pair him with T-Mac. T-Mac is like Calvin Johnson.
God, that's crazy.
He's going to be so good.
Why do you like Tyrell McMillan that much?
Honestly, so you look at these. I like to look at these graphs.
Yeah.
It like predict players real well. So he's in a graph where he's proven in college. He's proven in college. He's not like
whatever receiver of the year.
Anthony Richardson, where it's like, oh, he could be good.
Sure.
He's proven.
Yeah.
And he's like Anthony Richards. Like he's
a big freak. Yeah, absolutely. I do absolutely think he'll be good. That's just a lot of stock to put in. But that's a hot take. And you think they're going to be the 5 seed? I think they're going to be the best wild card. All right.
That'd be real
All
hard.
right. I like it.
I think the Bucks are going to be, there's a little more debt.
For sure. You've got a more, Baker Mayfield's at this point a full-blown veteran. He's been everywhere. He's always kept his head. That's a guy that I really did not like when he first, because I'm a KU fan too, and he spiked. He was flipping people off on our field. I'm still mad about it. But, now that he's so mature and he's just so level-headed, and he's also a cool dude. People love him in the locker room. I'm super duper high on Baker Mayfield.
Man.
Who you got your 6 seed?
Oh, we got the Lions. We don't
okay. We kind of went over. You've got the same take as me, where they just regress.
Yeah,
and then you've got what I think is the most unbelievable take on this whole board. Who's your 7 seed here?
I think that steps in the year, he's got something to prove. Cowboys are kind of showing him the door. Like, hey, we need you to make an impact.
Yeah, we're paying you $60 million. Yeah, I think so.
Something about Dak is he's like the Alex Smith, right? He's gonna win you 10 games.
I do think he's a consistent quarterback. I don't think he's a bad quarterback. I think he won't elevate a team though.
He's like Tua. Who would you rather have, Tua or Dak?
Golly, unconcussed Tua.
Yeah, we'll say unconcussed.
Tua, but that's right there. I get what you're saying.
He's the Alex Smith of Alex Smith.
Sure.
He's got George Pickens now.
He's got weapons to throw to. I think Zeke Elliott being your main running back is unreal. In the year of our Lord 2020. I think that's crazy.
Yeah.
So I think they're really going to.
Well, they drafted that running back.
They did, but I can't even remember. He's not starting. I don't even remember his name, but I don't think he's starting. Zeke Elliott is supposed to be their premier back.
Yeah,
which is unreal. That's crazy.
I think the thing is, I think he knows how to win games, and
sure.
And
Well,
he's an old head.
He's a vet, absolutely.
He's going to be able to win games like Kirk
Sure.
Cousins can win games.
Sure. I don't mind that take. I think obviously they got worse. That's really, and they,
Dallas is telling, hey, we got to get it. This is your year, because I think he ends up being Danny Dimes after the end of the year.
Really? You think they cut him?
Yeah, they're going to cut him.
They'd be pretty mad and to cut him. They owe him like $120 million more dollars.
Well, they're pretty mad with him right now. I mean,
You're right. They were. Well, you're right. That's something that Jerry Jones would do.
Yeah.
Jerry Jones is liable to do anything. So if he's not happy, although I think he likes Dak. I think he likes Dak a lot. But if he's not getting what he needs, and Cowboys fans are going to come into this year fuming from what happened on this offseason. They're going to be furious. So yes, they need some wins bad. The fans are going to be riding at the gates.
Mm-hmm. He's going to be in Alex Smith this year, and they got George Pickens, they got CeeDee Lamb, great O-line. Yeah, they can get the run game, but Dak, he's going to put his heart on the line. He's going to run it.
All right.
He's going to run the ball a little bit with himself.
All right. Some hot takes from both of us.
But then they're going to get pummeled by the Eagles.
Okay. Anyway, get blown up in week 1. And then what's your AFC picture looking like?
So AFC's kind of the same thing, I think we're...
Oh, yeah, we talked about it, right? The Chiefs, the Jaguars, of course. At the 2?
The Jags are going to be killing it.
Are you crazy?
I think the Chiefs are at one game ahead of everybody in that division. The Jags have the same record as the Bills.
Wow.
The Jags are going to beat the Bills.
Okay, good night. That's a pretty... what makes you just... I mean, you've definitely talked about it.
You talk about Cam Ward being one of the most irrelevant first pick overall.
You're probably right, yeah.
Let me tell you about a guy named Travon Walker.
Okay.
He's been putting in work. He's been solid every year, and nobody really realizes that.
Okay, I like Trayvon Walker, sure.
Buffalo Bills, they got a Josh Allen.
Yeah.
We've got a Josh Allen in Duval. They've got a Josh Allen in Duval, and he is a dog.
Josh Hines Allen or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then you got Travis as a corner. I mean, This offense is loaded, but this defense is...
Do you think they'll play him a lot of corner, or... I figure he'll go in on like nickel and dime packages.
Okay,
so he'll be in on 15 to 25% of the plays, is what I'm guessing.
I'm glad that you asked that.
Okay.
So they had the 5th pick in the draft, and they traded up with the Cleveland Browns.
Sure.
Like 2 first-round picks. They sent a king's ransom to him.
I guess you're right.
Now, what makes me think he's going to be I think he's going to be starting both sides all year round, because you don't draft. Do you see Travis Hunter as like a Deion Sanders? You think he's...
No.
Okay, do you see him as a Jerry Rice?
No.
Okay, so
I don't see him as
either one. I agree with you. I don't see him as either one either.
Mm-hmm.
But when you trade all those assets,
yeah,
you're not expecting a Jerry Rice or on one side and a Deion Sanders. You're expecting a great corner, Pro Bowl corner, and a Pro Bowl wide receiver.
I get what you're saying. So because they paid so much, they expect him to be 2 players.
Basically,
that's why they paid so much, is because he's 2 positions.
They're going to be playing on both sides of the ball, which is going to be interesting because, I mean, if you go up against someone like the Kansas City Chiefs, you got to go D up on Xavier Worthy and then turn around and D up on.
Oh, well, I don't understand.
Trent McDuffie.
Yes, I wonder. I just wonder if he's going to have the energy. That's all. It's just, can you just do that over and over and over again for the whole game? But he did it for Colorado. I mean, what's he going to be running faster in the NFL? Probably not. So if he can do it, he can do it.
Kid's got heart.
Right. And I mean, if he, wants to, I mean, they've got enough receivers that he could be out on a couple receiver packages. You know what I mean? They could have a 2 receiver setup and him just take a little breather. I think they could do the same thing with corners. They'd probably, just rotate them in and out. But yeah, I mean, I guess you're right. They were going to want him to start at both positions if he's going to be so highly valued. So that's an interesting take. He's my biggest question mark of the year. There's a part of me that wants to say he's going to win Rookie of the Year on offense or defense, but offense in particular. There's another part of me that I'm just not sure if he'll immediately jump to NFL level. It's particularly because he's playing both sides of the ball. I wonder if that'll hurt his production a little bit, particularly a receiver, if he won't be able to quite create the openings. But time will tell. I'm a huge fan of him. I watched him at Arrowhead Stadium when KU played Colorado. He's incredible. He is a different type of human being. So I'm very excited to see what they do with him.
Quite frankly, I think he's going to be putting a lot of work because I think he's going to be having problems at home.
Oh no! Did he break up with that girl?
No, they got married.
What?
And she's got a kid on the way.
No,
Oh, man, no.
What? Maybe she'll settle down. You know,
I think he's going to be having problems at home.
Oh no!
He's going to boost his game.
Okay. Maybe you're right. You know, that always seems to help. You know, the Tyreek Hills of the world and whatnot. That they just seem to go out there and play hard. That's pretty interesting. You've got the Bills winning the AFC East. I think that's pretty reasonable.
Yeah.
And then you've got the Ravens winning the AFC North. At the 4 seed, I would say that's probably a little lower than most people think. How many games do you figure they win? Do you have a ballpark?
I think the Ravens take a step back this year. I mean,
Really?
He's likely he's going to be dealing with some time out.
Mm-hmm.
The defense is just getting old.
Sure. Yeah, they haven't.
I like Starks. That new guy they got, Starks, is
Mhm.
going to be solid safety, but it's getting
Mhm.
old.
Sure. I don't think they probably have made much progress since last year, if any. I think they're probably a little worse too. I think you're probably right.
And I did take the Chargers, like you
Mhm.
did. You throw out the Chargers. You're a big. Justin Herbert breaks out. You think he's going to be good?
I mean, I think the criticisms are definitely at this point of him. Everybody says, well, what? He hasn't actually done anything. Totally warranted. I'm not saying he does do anything. I'm just saying he'll win 10 or 11 games. So I think they will be pretty dang solid.
I don't think he can be Justin Herbert that leads the way. I think it's going to be Omari and Hampton.
Really?
You talk about that offensive line.
Yeah.
And you know how Harbaugh is. He loves. Remember when he was at Michigan? He loved running that ball.
Oh, he does. Well, he likes a gritty, tough running back. That's for sure.
And they got. I think they're going to be running the ball, and they're going to be.
Really?
I think they're going to take the Ravens with rushing this year. I think they're going to be
Really?
rushing offense.
Wow. Okay. Well, that's a bit of a hot take, but I actually don't mind that take at all. That's pretty. I mean, their O-line's unbelievable. That's really what's going to help them out. I mean, with a good O-line, of course, you can run. Of course, you can do anything. You can pass. So I think really they're going to be in really good shape. Yeah.
Mm.
And then you got the Bengals at the 6 seed.
I think Joey B's still. You talking about? I think Joe Burrow. Quite frankly, I don't want to spoil it, but I think he wins MVP.
Really?
It's his time.
Really? Well, I mean, of course, even though I have the Bengals missing the playoffs, I'm no fool. I mean, Joe Burrow's a fantastic quarterback. Perhaps the second best in the league. I don't know if I could put him above Josh Allen. Perhaps the third best. But yes, absolutely. He's excellent. He's fun to watch for sure. He's incredibly accurate. He can move. He can do it all. So, him winning MVP, that's pretty,
Yeah,
I think that's reasonable.
So I put Joe Burrow there because I think you're right. I think Hendrickson pops off and he breaks the sack record. To be honest with you,
Whoa!
he's gonna have
TJ Watt's sack record.
He's gonna break it. I mean, you got 17 games to do it.
I guess
you
so.
say he's gonna be angry.
I think so. I mean, he's a heck of a player. He needs one more fat contract. He's getting a little older. He needs one more big fat contract. So he's gonna be playing hard. And then they only gave him that 1-year deal to go, hey, we need you right now, and then we can talk about it next year. Well, they're not going to franchise tag him. It would cost him $38 million or whatever. He knows it. He's playing for a contract. So I like that bit. Yeah.
And then I got the Steelers right behind them. I think they make the playoff, and I think they have the same record as the Ravens. It's just the Ravens. They got the division game.
Really?
Beat them in the division game. They have the same record, so they just take it over. But I think Aaron Rodgers, he's on his Brett Favre era now,
Well, that's true. They did. They made the Vikings Brett Favre era. They made the playoffs. They were actually pretty solid. I mean, I think their defense is incredible, of course. It's the Steelers' defense. Of course, that's going to be really good. So that may very well be enough. Maybe you're right. I think Aaron Rodgers might have a noodle on.
I think he wins the first 6 games. I think he goes 6-0.
Whoa.
Really? And then they're gonna steal the days of our Steelers. They're gonna end up going 6-6, 6-7.
Really?
And then they carve out,
They barely eat
they
one
carve it
end.
out 10-7 season.
Okay.
Make the playoffs. Along with the Ravens, they go 10-7.
Okay.
And Aaron Rodgers wins comeback player of the year.
Does he really? Well,
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, that's he didn't do anything last year, that's for sure. So I think that's a relatively reasonable pick as well.
Who
Um,
would you have as comeback player of the year?
I have Christian McCaffrey because so I had him on my fantasy team last year, and Kyle Shanahan, that bastard, told me that he just had a little bit of tendonitis or whatever, and I was like, great, he'll start like week 2. I sure will take him with the first overall pick. Man, hell with that guy. And then he doesn't play it down. But I mean, you want to talk about a dude that's I think Saquon very well might be better. I think I'm a huge Saquon fan, but I think 1-for-1 Saquon might be a tiny bit better, but Christian McCaffrey is going to go off this year. He's saying, I'm back. I had to work all freaking year to get my, I don't even remember what happened. At first they said tendonitis, and then they said, oh no, he's got a slight tear in some ligaments. Then they said, hey, he's got it in the other knee too. Like, what? This guy's falling apart? I think that he really needed that, actually. I think he's going to come back better. He will be as good as he was in that 2 seasons ago when they made the Super Bowl. He's going to be insanely good. Maybe even OPOY candidate, but absolutely comeback player of the year. Absolutely.
And I think it's real interesting when I was telling you about how I felt about the Panthers, because there was a time when the Panthers had Christian McCaffrey and they had Baker Mayfield. Tell me about Baker Mayfield. What do you think he?
Oh, I have him win an MVP. Yes, I think it's a pretty wild take, but I feel like this is almost not like this is it for him because he's playing excellent. But I think he's finally maybe made the strides that he needed last year in particular. He ended up throwing for more yards than anybody else. So I think really that this is his time. If the Buccaneers stay relevant and stay good, he will absolutely be in the conversation the whole time. And if he gets them to a 2 or a 3 seed and he has somewhere in the neighborhood of 4,800 yards or whatever, maybe even he breaks 5, maybe he throws 50 touchdowns. I don't think he does. I think he throws somewhere in the neighborhood of 40, but he's going to be so efficient, and he's a smart player. He doesn't throw that many picks. He doesn't make that many mistakes. It's going to be hard to look at that resume and say anybody else deserves it. And of course, they want to give it to Joe Burrow. They want to give it to Patrick Mahomes. They want to give it to one of the big guys that keeps winning it. Lamar, Josh Allen, of course. I think his resume will have to speak for itself to win this award, and I think it will. I think he's going to have one of the better QB seasons we've ever seen. Hot take right there.
Yeah,
I'm a big Baker Mayfield fan.
I like it. I had Joe Burrow, but who you got for the rookies this year?
For offensive rookie of the year, I have got Cam Ward. It's pretty shocking. I think he's going to play pretty well, actually. I saw him in college. Nothing really made me go, wow, that's crazy. But he is very accurate, and he's comfortable in the pocket. So that if they can get him comfortable in the pocket, he will have a pretty good year. I really do believe so. And then D-Roy, I know you've got a problem with this.
Well, I wanted to go back to Cam Ward. I mean,
oh, you do? You want to?
He's going to have to win Offensive Rookie of the Year if they're going to make the playoff.
That's right.
Poverty Titans team, bro. He's going to have to. So I applaud you for putting that.
Okay, right, yeah, right. If one prediction's right, the other one has to be right, I guess.
Hey, let's talk about this boy. Defensive Rookie of the Year.
So I've got Abdul Carter. I watched plenty of him at Penn State last year. I think he's going to be a monster. I think he's going to be a game wrecker. I think this is going to be his worst year. He's only going to get better after this, and he's going to win D-Roy easily.
Yeah. Well, you talking about Abdul Carter.
Uh-huh.
He's going to kill it in the NFL. Here's his first
Here's his
I've
first
seen
play.
it. Yes, everybody has a welcome to the
He
NFL
gets
moment.
chopped
So
by a backup tight
we'll
end
tell the
for the
people.
Jets.
I've seen it. So we'll tell the people who are watching here. Yes, this is Abdul Carter's first or second play in the NFL, where he gets absolutely just drilled after just a chip block by a Jets backup tight end. I get it.
He got picked. He
I
got
know it.
smoked.
Listen, but everyone's gotten a welcome to the NFL moment. I really think this is not the norm with Abdul Carter. I think he is going to be a monster. But we'll see. We'll see if I'm right. Who do you have winning defensive rookie of the year?
Who do I have? So I was liking Ashton Gianti a lot.
Oh, for O'Roy, sure.
Yeah, I mean, I think he was going to be pretty good, but
Sure.
I'm a changed
Jeez,
man.
man.
I took some
Okay.
time to think
what do you
about it.
think?
I like T-Mac.
Man, boy, do you. You've been talking about him nonstop.
I think he's going to be a dog this year.
Why don't you give me what do you figure his season stats are going to look like? How many
2,000 receiving yards.
He's going to break the record?
He's going to break the record. I think he look at
he's better than Megatron.
I think he's got a better roster than Megatron had.
Maybe. I mean,
And I think you look at Young, he was playing last season, with some swagger. He got his swagger back.
he did get better
He was
last
a
season.
number-
I can totally agree with that.
And he was doing the swaggy piece, throwing touchdown, looking behind, looking at the camera before he catch the touchdown.
Yes, I'm aware. I remember.
I mean, I'm telling you, I think Young's gonna come in the season with that mindset mentality of,
Okay.
I got my swagger back.
All right.
And T-Mac's gonna show who he is. I mean,
I think he'll be pretty comfortable to start with. I think that's for sure.
Look at-
he won't struggle to get to an NFL level. I think he's already probably there.
you look at the wide receivers they had last year.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't have him. They had Adam Thielen as
Yeah,
wide receiver
right.
one.
No, it was bad scene over there.
So he's gonna get hand fed that football, and
Okay.
they're going to make a crazy run.
All right. Okay.
I think it's gonna be a Jaden McDaniels run, to be honest.
Is that right? Really?
Yes.
That good, huh? Okay.
Yeah, I think they're gonna be a solid team.
All
To be
right.
honest with you, I think they're gonna be the number one offense. He's gonna have 2,000
Mm-hmm.
receiving yards, and they're gonna be pretty good. I'm excited
Okay.
for what they have in store.
Great. All right. And then do you have a player picked for defensive rookie of the year?
I think Travis
Really?
right there.
Okay. All right.
No, I seen that you drafted him in fantasy, and I was like, oh, you know what? He's gonna have some pick sixes, so that'll be good. But
I don't know if they score that. I actually was wondering that if you start him at wide receiver, I don't think his cornerback points count.
well, I was looking at fantasy. They got
Mm-hmm.
they named the position.
Yeah,
You look at Travis, he's got the wide receiver on it.
Yeah, and
he's
he
got
has-
the cornerback.
he does. Yeah,
So
maybe he will. I don't know. I'm not sure how that'll work.
I
It's
think
kind of like when you have a running back and they're returning kicks. Like you don't get those points. You know, you
Mhm.
don't get the yards, or if they were to rip off a touchdown that actually goes to the defense special teams. I think that might be how that works. But I'm very happy with drafting him in fantasy. I think that's a pretty good pick. And then
then-
you've got
so. Yeah, speaking about the Jaguars, Coach of the Year is gonna go to Liam Cohen's.
Wow.
Travis is gonna make Liam look good, and
Okay.
honestly, I think he's gonna be average head coach. Nothing
Mhm,
great, nothing
mhm.
special, but it's
Mhm.
gonna be a fun year for Duval.
Wow.
They've been
Okay.
needing a fun year. Who'd you have for Coach of the Year?
Well, I really have been thinking about picking. So if I'm right about the Patriots, then Mike Rabel will win Coach of the Year because that's really Coach of the Year is always. It's not the best coach; it's who performed the most over expectations. So if the Patriots make the playoffs, Rabel will absolutely win, and it'll also be like, oh hey, isn't that cool that he came back, whatever, after being disgraced by the Panthers. And because I think he is a good coach. I think he's a little more old school, which, as I've kind of talked with you a little bit about, I don't know if that works in the NFL anymore, but I think that he's going to really. They have a pretty young team. That's the kind of coach you want to bring them all together and get them all to do what they need to do. So if the Patriots make the playoffs, my pick is Mike Vrabel. If they don't, Todd Bowles, I think, will probably win it because, they're expected to do well this year, but I think they do so well that he'd win it. But yeah, my pick is going to be Mike Vrabel.
I'm kind of shocked looking at you picked two defensive
did.
defensive head coaches.
I did.
And it's crazy because there's 27, there are 32 teams, there's 27 offensive coaches, and you have to pick 2 of the 5 defensive head coaches.
I know, which I tend not to like, actually. I tend not to like defensive head coaches. I think your head coach should call the dang plays on offense, like an Andy Reid type. Well, you can have an O coordinator, but, I want the coach to have the playbook in their hands. So, yes, that's actually a shocking pick for me, but I just like Mike Vrabel a lot. And I like Todd Bowles, too. I don't think he's actually an incredibly good coach, but I think he's, they've done a good job building something over there. So, anyway.
And is it cool if I go with the who I think's offensive player of the year?
Sure.
I think it's Malik Neighbors. I mean, you look at Jameis Winston. You got Jameis Winston on that roster. He's throwing some picks, but he's going to be throwing some touchdowns, too, I think.
Sure.
I think he's going to be – and homeboy.
Really?
Yeah, T-Mac. I think he's going to have a big season, but you can't give it to T-Mac because he's just a rookie. He's just a rookie. So when you look at Malik Neighbors, he's going to have a humongous year.
Okay.
But it's not going to be as great as T-Mac's.
Okay.
But you can't give T-Mac offensive player of the year. You got to give him offensive rookie.
Right. Come on now. You can't give them both. Yeah.
So,
sure. All right.
I think Malik Neighbors goes off because Jameis Winston's throwing a lot of picks.
Well, and Malik's definitely an excellent player, and he's definitely going to be getting force-fed that ball. That team does.
They got plenty of quarterbacks that can throw to him, too. You got J-Mo, you got Jackson Dart, you've got Russell Wilson, and they're going to be...
I like Jackson Dart. I hope they go with him. I think he might be all right.
Yeah. I like him just because he's got a hot mind.
Okay. I'm glad to hear that.
I picked a guy from LSU to win OPOY. You picked a guy.
Yes, I did. Yes, so I actually don't like Jamar Chase. I got beef with the guy, but he's obviously a fantastic receiver. I think he's just as good as the Justin Jeffersons of the world. You know what I mean? And he's, again, I just like Monique Neighbors, he's going to be getting force-fed that ball because not that T. Higgins isn't good. He's fantastic, but that's who they're going to be looking for. Jamar Chase can get open at will, almost, it seems, and they're going to have to score, as we were talking about, 40 points a game to have any sort of a good season because their defense is going to be so bad. So they're going to be absolutely humming the ball. They're going to be playing from behind. They're going to be doing a full-blown air raid offense. So I believe it. I have Jamar Chase picked. I'm sure that's the betting favorite, so it's not really a hot take, but I'm a big believer in him having a good year this year.
I think it's funny how you took a Bengals player for offensive player of the year because I'm going to pivot and I'm going to take Trey Hendrickson.
Oh, are you?
Defensive player of the year.
I like that pick.
He's going to break, like I say, he's going to break the sack record.
Sure, if he does that, absolutely he wins. It's probably not even close. And I like it.
Who do we have for defensive player of the year for you?
I have Micah Parsons. I think, as we kind of talked about earlier, obviously the trade that was heard around the world, I think not that he even really needs to improve. I think he's already so good. It's just the Cowboys have been basically irrelevant. Obviously, people watch the Cowboys, but, when you're talking about award-winning, they just, when you watch him get 2 sacks in a game and, have 3 pressures or whatever, well, they still lose. Hard to win Defensive Player of the Year. The Packers are going to win a lot of games, and they're going to look on defense, and they're going to go, boy, all these other quarterbacks that they're playing are running around like chickens with their heads cut off. Here's why, Micah Parsons. So, yes, I've got him winning DPOY, sure.
Yeah, you talked about that trade this year. I mean, last time a player of his caliber was going into his 4th year, he went to the same exact division as the Packers.
Really?
Yeah.
Who are you talking about?
I'm talking about Khalil Mack.
Oh, man.
And it was traded for 2 first-rounders. When I look at the Micah Parsons trade, I look at history because last time something like this happened, it was Khalil Mack. And quite frankly, I'm torn because everybody thinks that the Cowboys got, robbed.
Yeah.
Highway robbery. Everybody's steaming on.
I think that. If I'm the Packers, 2 firsts is cheap.
If I'm looking at history repeats itself, I think Khalil Mack, I think Micah Parsons goes in and they have a big year.
Sure.
And he turned that Bears team around. They won 14 games.
Yeah.
13,
Yeah, no, he was a monster for that.
with Mitchell Trubisky
I
as
know.
quarterback. So when I'm looking at him coming to the Packers, I think he's going to make a big difference.
Okay.
They go to the Super Bowl.
Okay.
However, you look at after that year,
you think there's a regression?
humongous regression.
What for?
I think defensive play, like I said, NFL stands for one thing, not for a lot.
You're right, sure.
And I think these defensive players, after they get to year 5, year 6, year 7, they start.
But he's only like 27 years old.
But Khalil Mack, his first year in Chicago, he was hot.
You're right. And then he never really did anything else. And then anything to that level. Sure.
Second year, he wore down, They get these first contracts, and
what do you think separates the TJ Watts of the world from, because, he's 30-something at this point, and he's been fantastic every year. Do you think he's just, I don't know, is it just the Watt family? They're just freaks? Maybe it is.
I think it's how well you take care of your body,
Sure.
I mean, TJ Watt, he's had a brother that's been in it for years.
Sure.
So he's able to look at how JJ Watt did it and how he would stay relevant for all them years. But if you keep in mind, TJ Watt has been hurt a lot.
I guess you're right, actually. Yes, he has. He's been out on a shoot all last season, wasn't it? Or was that a couple seasons ago?
Yeah,
last season.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
I mean, these defensive players, I think he's gonna have a big year, but you're gonna start to see regression after you get that contract.
Maybe let off the gas.
You let off the gas. I think Cowboys got a lot in return. And anytime you can trade a defensive player and get 2 first-round picks, and
one of
that else he got,
one of them might even end up being Micah Parsons. So yeah, I mean, I think they could have got more. I really do. That's the only thing I think. Yes, for Micah Parsons. I mean, this is somebody that every team in the league would love to have on their D-line. He would start, he would replace, almost everybody. So you would think that they maybe could have got, I don't know, a third, just 2 firsts. I know that's expensive. I get it. I mean, that's, your first round picks need to be hits. So that's 2 years of having really good, if you draft well, having really good players added to your team. Are they Micah Parsons level good? I mean, this guy could be. I mean, I know you're saying a regression. I think he's generational. I think that he goes down as one of the better to do it. As, Hall of Famer, has a gajillion sacks, whatever. So I guess time will tell.
Time will tell. Man, oh man. I'm excited to see how it plays out, but I think history repeats itself. But let's talk about this KU and MU rivalry.
Oh
game.
Gosh. Okay, so yes, I'm lucky enough to be going to this game. I'm incredibly excited. That's on Saturday. Obviously, week 1 of college is over. We've seen some interesting stuff already. Alabama losing, of course, was pretty crazy. North Carolina getting blown out. Everyone's all excited about Bill Belichick going to North Carolina, and they get blown out by TCU.
Oh my gosh, it was so funny, dude.
TCU is probably not very good. So yeah, we're back already with as far as college football is concerned, and that's awesome. But yes, we are reinstating the border war for the first time since I believe 2017.
We are back, baby. We are back.
Possibly. Like, what do you think? I mean, there's, Michigan, Ohio State, there's Auburn and Alabama. I, wouldn't put them that Texas, Oklahoma, but KU, Missouri's in the top 10.
I'm biased. I put them at 1 because I'm biased. I'm biased.
Well,
I put Ohio State, Michigan at 1, but
okay.
I put MU and KU because I'm just biased. I love watching. I enjoyed watching that more than a divisional game against the Raiders.
Absolutely. And I mean, these two schools, KU and K-State play each other. And I mean, yeah, they don't like you. KU and MU hate each other.
I know.
And the best part about it is it's from a real war. What other rivalry can say, no, we have a rivalry because we were actually shooting each other with Civil War guns. I think that's fantastic. I'm so incredibly excited to go to Columbia this week. I will be wearing my KU gear. I will be getting beat up. I think it'll actually be a really even game because KU's one. I mean, we don't have a great look at how good either of these teams are yet because Missouri played whoever, Arkansas, Pine Bluff beat them 60-7 or whatever. and KU's played Fresno State, who I thought would be a little better, and they blew them out, but they're not very good. And Wagner Seahawks, they beat by a lot.
Yeah.
But as far as metrics are concerned, they're both getting some votes in the AP poll. They're both in the probably 30 as of right now. I think maybe if KU wins it, they'll probably come out of it ranked. But if Missouri wins it, they very well could come out of it ranked. It's just people probably don't value a KU win quite as high. But this is a huge deal for KU in particular. This is the difference for them. They've got, besides this, a relatively weak schedule. They've got to play, I believe, Arizona. They're going to be pretty good. I think they also play Utah, who will be pretty good. And K-State, I don't know if you saw them, losing to Iowa State, bummer, and barely beating whoever they played, some FCS team. So I really think that K-State is a beatable team this year. I think KU's sniffing a Big 12 title.
Oh, man.
That's right. That's my prediction for the year.
Well,
I think KU absolutely has as good of a chance as anybody to win that Big 12 title if Jalen Daniels can stay healthy and if they can just hold off on defense. The defense will be a little bit suspect in comparison.
well, why don't you put your money where your mouth is?
Uh-oh.
How about this?
What's that?
Loser has to wear
Oh, no.
the opposing team's merch after the game.
Okay, for KU.
Yeah, so
Missouri.
if KU wins, I'll wear KU gear.
Mhm.
If MU wins, you've got to wear KU on the next pod.
I've got to wear Mizzou.
Don't you
You
worry, I'll
have some-
supply. Yeah,
okay,
I've
you
got
have some
you. I'll
Mizzou
supply.
stuff. Well, I've got KU stuff.
I
of
got you a
course.
hoodie you could wear. I get you a t-shirt.
Ah.
We could just be matching with some MU. Man, oh man.
Okay, that's a great.
All right.
Oh man.
Losers. I can't wait to see Big Vaughn next week. With the MU on.
Oh,
I do think
no.
MU. I think I'm scared because we don't have
Yeah.
Brady Cook.
Yeah.
We ain't got Luke the Bird.
Who they got going now? Bo Pribula.
Yeah.
So
He looks solid.
he actually does look. So
I like
I think I think both of these teams are going to be really solid teams actually. So, as far as who wins, I mean, I would be totally shocked. The thing I'd be the most shocked by is a blowout on either side. I think this game will end up being 20-24, hopefully on KU side, but I don't think it's going to be a big blowout on either side.
It's gonna be a good game.
I think so. I think it'll be probably the second best game of the week behind Oklahoma and Michigan. That'll be a heck of a game too. But besides that, yeah, we're in for a real treat. Let's see what else. Of course we've got. Do you have anything to say about Travis and Taylor and their?
I tell you what, man, it's been probably the best wingman in a while. All these white girls posting about Travis and Taylor getting married, and I go, hey, I got us. Will you be my plus one? I got seats. It's been a solid conversation.
What do you mean you
started.
got seats to?
I'm just role playing. I'm just playing them.
Oh, you're just lying.
They know. I don't know Travis, but I'm like, hey, you want to be my plus one in the wedding?
I guess you're right.
It's been solid as it comes.
Well, I'm glad. I'm glad to hear that.
So shout out to Travis Kelce for being the best wingman.
They did. They had a nice engagement. I think it's pretty crazy. I guess me as somebody that watches football, but doesn't really watch regular news. And I mean, I watch movies. I watch, I'm aware of pop culture things going on, but not to the level. I mean, when they got engaged, the entire country, every single show is talking about it. Sports shows, Good Morning America. It's unbelievable the reach that she in particular has. And it's pretty shocking to me. I think this is definitely Travis's last year. Why would you keep playing after this?
Oh man, I can't believe he's a billionaire.
Well, you're right. I know. Hopefully she didn't make him sign that prenup. But I think there are some people on the internet that seem to be talking about, they think that this is some sort of marketing ploy. To be so cynical to think that people are going to get married just for the marketing, I don't buy it, especially Travis, who's just, he's a frankly pretty regular dude. I mean, from everything I've ever seen about him, he seems like a really regular, cool dude. And, he's got that podcast. He's doing just fine with that. And she's, of course, Taylor Swift. She doesn't need to increase her fan base. She's got $1 billion. She has 1 billion fans. So I'm just, I'm happy for him. I do wish if Travis was to say that he was going to retire, I wish he would come out and say it. Say, hey, this is going to be my last year. That way we can do the old tour. I like it.
I think he deserves an old tour.
Retirement tour, yeah.
Like they did for A-Rod and Rod.
That's right. Yeah, I always liked that. But anyway, I think that's really all we had to get through today. You have anything else you want to talk about?
Oh, man, it's a great podcast. I think somebody drafted Brock Bowers a little too high.
Oh, right. Yeah. You know what? Listen, that guy is there. Jacoby Myers is not going to make a difference. That guy is going to have a monster year. He's going to, I don't know, 1,800 yards. You heard it here first. I just pulled that out of my butt. But he's going to be pretty good.
You think Geno is going to be able to make it the whole year? Let me ask you this. He's getting old.
Mm-hmm.
He had a hard time last year.
Mm-hmm.
You think he makes a whole year? I think they're going to be a run-first team. And I think Brock Bowers is a dog.
Sure.
I mean, but I think that he's not even going to be tight. I think he'll be tight end 2, 3, or 4.
Really? Who do you think's going to be one?
I'll tell you who it's going to be. It's going to be George Kittle.
Really?
I drafted George Kittle. And you know what? I drafted him in this league. And I wish I didn't tell my boy in this other league about how I was feeling about George Kittle. Because he drafted him.
Oh, you made him eye on him. Why'd you do that?
I told him like weeks out. I was like, oh, yeah, I can't wait. Get on the pod and talk about George Kittle.
Well, you want to talk about Mr. Consistency, and the Niners are a team that has lost every time they lose receivers. I think we've got a better chance at having a tight end having a good season. So I think that's a pretty good pick. And George Kittle, yes, absolutely, Mr. Consistency.
The 49ers were so down bad. They traded for your boys, Guy Moore.
Yes.
And I look at it, they don't have Tubby no more, Deebo Samuel.
Mm-hmm.
They ain't got Brandon Ayuk.
Yeah.
Juwan James dealing with injury.
You sure?
They're relying on Ricky Pearson, which I love Ricky.
Me too. But right. He's not an elite receiver.
George Kittle's going to be running. He's going to have the football. I think he's going to have a big year.
I like it. That's a good pick.
Like tight end 1. I like Brock Bowers. I think you need to shake your head.
Yeah, he does. He's already bald.
We need to go with me to Turkey or something, man.
He needs to do something. That picture looks like he's 40 years old on the fantasy app. It looks bad.
Yeah, I know it.
Well, all right. That's good. Okay, we got to where you can make fun of my fantasy team. I think that's it for this week's podcast, folks. Thanks for tuning in. We'll be back hopefully next week. We'll go over week 1 of the NFL, and we'll just see where everything goes. So have a great day.